So, Heidi, it's really nice to have you over here for the interview. Let's start out by introducing ourselves.
Yeah.
So, I'm Anandi Srivastava from BTech second year, Computer Science, and I'm a representative of Logos, the official debating society of Banasthali. And you?
So I am already an alumni of Banasthali. So I did my MBA from Banasthali. Now currently I'm working with Deloitte as a consultant, workday consultant, and it's been like 3 years since I'm working here. I have started my career with basically recruitment, and then I switched over, and now it's going really good.
Yeah. So, Dee, I would like to ask you that how did you decide that you would do MBA?
Okay, so since school, I was inclined towards management and the subject, basically commerce, how business works, what is the business model. So I took up commerce in my 11th and 12th grade, and then I decided to go for a management college. Then I went ahead to do BBA, which is Bachelor's of Business Administration, to explore more into the subject. And while I was doing BBA, I realized that I really like those subjects. I made the right choice. And then eventually, when I was in my second year of college, I decided to master it as well. So it is during my graduation that I decided I should go for a master degree in management, and then that's how I ended up doing MBA.
Yeah. So, Dee, since you know a lot about the subject, can you please tell us how is MBA or the management relevant in today's world, and how can it help young engineers to excel?
Yeah, so it is very helpful, I would say, for all spheres, irrespective you're coming from engineering, from journalism, or any spheres of career or life. MBA is really, very helpful because the skills that we develop during our MBA, the concepts that we go through and then implement practically, it's very crucial. For example, if you're in an organization, you're in engineering, you're doing your job, you're doing it well, but when you keep on excelling and you step up into your career, someday you'll become a team leader, or someday you will become a manager. So whenever you start moving on to that post or to the designations, there is when you require management. So because you have to, more than anything like your knowledge on the subject, what is more required is how you're managing people. Is your team happy? They feel good about it? If somebody is leaving an organization, what is the reason they are leaving an organization? So this is when you require these managerial skills and people management skills, interpersonal skills. So that's what we usually develop during these MBA curriculum. So it is very helpful. That's why I said not just engineering, any spheres of life or career, you need these skills. This is a demand right now in the market.
Definitely. I can totally understand. Like, apart from technical skills, interpersonal skills are definitely very important. And as we move on with our jobs, I think that becomes eventually more important than the technical skills afterwards.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's totally relevant.
Yeah, you will not realize it when you are in your initial career, because you're just doing your job, whatever has been delegated to it. You are just performing at good standards, making good progress. But when you keep on, stepping up in your career, and when you have, I'll say, just two people that you have to manage, that's when you realize that you have the knowledge of the subject, but no, there is something missing, because they will come to you to not for the knowledge of the subject, but also sometimes to they want to discuss their personal issues, like they're not happy with their job, or then this, for example, there's a new person in your organization to whom you have to monitor, and that person is so new, she or he might be hesitated. So you have to identify these changes or these issues with people, and this is where management comes into picture.
Definitely. So as we know, you did MBA from Banasthali. What other colleges did you consider, and why did you choose Banasthali?
Okay, so this is a very long story. So while I was in school only, I decided to move away from my home. Reason being, I was very comfortable around in my home. I mean, I was living in a shell. So this is what, and I discussed this with my family and my parents. They were totally fine with it. So when I was considering the colleges for my BBA graduation, I knew Banasthali was among the top 10 colleges at that time for BBA. So we considered Banasthali as well. We visited the campus. We went to a hostel. We met the warden, had food there. But when we came back, somehow my parents decided that I'm too young to step out of my home and go to a college like Banasthali. I might not survive. That's what they felt, and I respected that. So I ended up doing graduation from my hometown. But after that, I was very stiff about it. Now I want to move out and explore what's outside, because I'm currently living in a shell. This is a small city. I want to go out. So they were again supportive about it. So we again visited the campus, and coincidentally, like I said, we earlier when I was in graduation and visited the campus, we visited the hostel and the warden. We met the warden, and coincidentally during my MBA, I got the same hostel and the same warden. So I think it's in the destiny. So so coming to why I chose MBA from Banasthali, I also considered other colleges like IBS Hyderabad, FMS Wisdom. FMS Wisdom is in Banasthali, FMS DU. So I considered other colleges, but I felt like there is a connection, like me ending up again in Banasthali, and my parents were also very, they should be also happy, because when I was young, they were scared to send me out. But now I'm going to a college where they'll be okay, they'll be fine. Okay, she had done a graduation, and this is again a girls' college, so they were happy about it.
Yeah.
So that's how.
Stepping out of the comfort zone, right?
Exactly.
Definitely, that's very important for students right now, like stepping out of the comfort zone. After all, there's so much of competition in the world, so you have to someday.
Yes, you have to, either by choice or situations will throw you. So you have to, any which ways.
Better that we make a choice, because then we'll not regret about it, or we'll not be disappointed. We know that we chose it, and now we have to face it eventually.
Exactly. You accept those gracefully rather
One should
than
be
something
positive.
else
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, the as you said that you had a connection from Banasthali, like from the starting before graduation. So, what's unique about the culture over there? And
Everything is unique in Banasthali. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, it's like what is the difference between the culture of Banasthali and the other colleges? Like it's totally different, a totally different environment out over there inside.
Yeah, so let me explain that with an example. So when I was doing graduation, I was doing it from IIMT University here in Meerut. So it was a good college. There were abundance of opportunities that we were exploring. We used to go college. We used to study. We used to participate in debates and extempore and stuff. And then we used to come back home. But Banasthali is a residential university. You can't come back home. You have to stay there. And the concept that I personally learned from Banasthali is, if you've heard of this, minimalism. So you have just minimum resources available with you, and you have to make maximum out of it. So that's what I have learned about it. So I have seen a picture somewhere, and somebody from Banasthali, maybe an alumni or junior, I don't know, has posted it that when you enter Banasthali, there is a board on which it's written, "Ye aam rasta nahi hai." Yes. So I would say it is not ordinary. It is, as soon as you step into Banasthali, it is not ordinary. You yourself becomes extraordinary when you step in there. So like you wear khadi there. A lot of people say that we have to wear suits, we have to take these dupattas, but khadi is so much environment friendly, so much friendly with your body. So, and nowadays, if you have seen, more fashion designers are focusing on such fabric like khadi, and people are making good there. So this is what Banasthali have been doing since ages. Like khadi,
Yeah.
to wear khadi since ages. So everything that you will find there would help you eventually to develop yourself, maybe as a person, maybe professionally, or in different spheres of life, like the fivefold concept of Banasthali. But it would help you develop. There is nothing that would, degrade you there. You will go up. So coming back to my example, where I was going to a college, I was participating, and then I was coming back. But in Banasthali, since it is a residential university, you have time. You can't come back home, sit with your mom, dad. You have time to spend with colleagues, with people around who are studying with you, your friends. You have to stay at hostel. You have to make arrangements for yourself. If you want to have juice, you have to go to the market yourself. You just can't say, keep up alado. So this is how you become independent. You have to become self-dependent. You have to go to the bank by yourself. Yes. Yeah, and you will take responsibility of yourself while you're living in Banasthali. That's how it is different.
There's this attitude you develop in college, right? That you have to do everything on your own. You have to take care of the laundry. You have to take care of your diet, and you have to take care of your health and everything. Like over here, it's totally messed up. Like our parents are pining on us, and like every time, and we are just in our comfort zones again.
Exactly. Actually, you learn discipline when you are outside of your home. If your home is disciplined, if you're not a spoiled kid like I was at my home, you can learn those things. But when you step out, you learn more. The other aspects of discipline, like when you are in college like Banasthali, there are certain rules that you have to follow. There are timings until which you will get your dinner, your breakfast. Even when during winters, you will get hot water up until 9 a.m. Post that, if you plan to take a bath, sorry, it's
you have to
cold water, or drinking yourself. There's no other option.
Yeah.
So this is the key to be a successful person in life.
Definitely. Moving on, some piece of advice for us. Sitting in our homes, we all feel out like missing on opportunities, like different things that we can try out in college, different courses we can pursue, different competitions we can take part in. And others feel like there's some part of the students, like 10% of the population, who feel like, yes, we can utilize this time to learn something new. Because once we get on campus, we won't have time to try anything new, but to learn the same thing that we are being taught in the college. So what do you think about this? Like, how can the other 80-90% of the population who is not doing this, how can they get motivated?
So actually, if you think it like the way that you're not missing out on anything. Yeah. Currently, you have opportunities of a different kind. When you're on campus, you have opportunities of different kinds. If you are sitting at your home, you can just explore the other learning platforms like Udemy, EDC. There are multiple courses that if you are interested in any subject, be it your curriculum, subject from your curriculum, or be it any other sphere, like you want to learn ukulele, or you want to learn cooking. So explore these platforms. Just go ahead. These are also sort of opportunities. You have time for it. But when you're on campus, the opportunities might be different. There would be on-campus activities, like you can participate in physical activity. You can participate in learning any new language, or there are if you are having any competition in your on the campus, you can participate in those like debates, assembly, or any group activities that you can participate there. But apart from that, you have other opportunities available at home. Moreover, I would like to quote one thing as well, that when you are at home, you have time to explore yourself. On campus you also have, but at home, if you have that, if you're good with photography, or if you're good with cooking, start a cooking channel. Who is stopping you? If you're good with photography, do freelancing. You have time for that. So it's just how you identify opportunities at different places. The opportunities is available in abundance, whether you're sitting at home or you're on campus. You are the one who have to identify these.
Definitely. That's an awesome piece of advice that we can use eventually. Like, yeah, that is really motivating.
Yeah.
So, now coming to some serious questions. So if after graduation or post-graduation, you could go back in time and start the program all over again, be it MBA, be it BBA, like what advice would you give yourself? Like life advices and study advices again.
Yeah, so I made some mistakes and I've learned from them. So if I can go back into time, I would tell myself not to just focus on what has been you have been offered in the campus or during your curriculum. Also focus on what's happening outside of MBA. So generally, when you're a student, you just focus yourself on studies or max to max extracurricular activities. You're not aware what's happening around, what's happening in the world. So I was disconnected from that. So there are new innovations happening. There are new technologies coming in. There are new companies entering India, and we are not aware of those. So that would be one advice that I would give myself, to be aware of both the worlds, on the campus and outside the campus, so that when you step out of the campus, you're not disconnected from the outside world, because eventually you have to step out at some point of time. So don't just be focused on one thing or two, but also be focused on what's happening. What's happening on the bigger umbrella overall, what's happening.
Yeah, like in a field like MBA, one should be aware, like
exactly.
what is trending in the world eventually.
Exactly, because there is suppose there's a new technology and you're just focusing on MBA. You don't know which technology came in, where is these new innovations happening. When you step outside, you realize, oh, this is also something that we can learn. If you have realized it earlier, you must have read about it. You must have explored how you can excel into the technology. But when you step out, then you realize, like Workday, PeopleSoft, and SQL. These are other skills and technologies that you can explore. But yes, be aware what's happening around in the world.
Like, don't sit still with one thing, just keep moving with the new things that you can grab. Yeah,
exactly.
Oh, that's really great. So what kind of a person thrives in MBA program? Like what I know is like an introvert person who does not have any social skills or something has to first develop it and then go into MBA, then step into MBA, because like it is what I think it is all about interaction, speaking, and networking, and management, teamwork again.
Yeah, so you're right. But I would say there is no kind of person. You don't have to change yourself. You have to just identify where do you fit. So there's a concept called job fit. Take up a job which demands you and which you demand. There should be an equal job fit. So coming to your point, introverts and extroverts, like in the industry where we are living, I would say extroverts excel more because communication is the key. If you know how to communicate, if you know networking, people management, and making friends, it would be really, very helpful. But that doesn't mean that introverts are left behind. So I was also an introvert I'm still an introvert, but my work speaks on my behalf, and that's what I have been getting as a feedback. People may know my name, might not know my name. So when I initially joined my firm, I never speak to a person who is sitting beside me. I was always focused on my work. So I was doing my work. I was doing great with it. And I was new to the technology, but my work was so beautiful. I started learning a lot and delivering great quality. So I have been recognized for that. And when I got recognized for that, people start knowing me, who is Mahima. So now at this point, I'm still an introvert, but my work speaks what I do. So don't worry if you're an introvert. Don't worry if you're an extrovert. You just give it a shot. Don't worry. Yeah. Don't change yourself. Just focus on what you are doing. If you are doing it the right way, if you're delivering the best that you can, then you are going to get great growth. Don't worry.
Yeah. So in the corporate world, what like many of us have observed, women basically, like because of the life choices and everything, family and societal pressure, most of them drop out, right? Yeah. Like most of them drop out because of these things. So, so what kind of advice would you like to give youngsters like us who are just going to join the companies and start our careers? So, what kind of an advice would you like to give us for that?
Yeah. Yes. So this is very true and you're very right. We, especially women, juggle a lot around work responsibilities, family responsibilities, and other stuff, health issues as well. We have so many health issues. So yes, I would say be vocal about it. Don't just hesitate that if I'm going to say this, what the other person would think about me. If I'm going to take a leave today, would they think that she's someone who don't want to do his or her job? So don't think about those things. If be vocal about what you want, demand it.
Yeah.
Because if you are doing great job, then your company also have to support you. It's not always that you are providing support from your side. The firm does have some responsibilities toward you. Don't forget that. That always you are liable. Don't do that. You are liable. You are doing good because the company is doing good to you. If they will not treat you right, they are not standing by you in your tough times, then it doesn't make sense to continue that job with that firm. So first of all, be vocal about what you want. Be vocal. Like if you want to spend some time with your family, just be vocal about it. That I would not be available from this time to this time, on these days to these days, and I'm on a personal leave. You don't have to hesitate. Just say it aloud that you want this leave for your personal well-being. Nothing to be shy about that. So when you speak about this, people would know that at least you are focusing on yourself and you would not prioritize. If they cannot throw anything at you at any point of time and you are going to do it. So set boundaries for yourself from initial of your career. Be vocal, do not hesitate, and be bold. Be bold about it, what you want, because you are doing a job outside for your family responsibilities. Okay, you're not. Most of us are doing it for ourselves. We just want to explore, but eventually, what stays with us is our family. So you have to take care of them eventually. So don't worry. Be good. Do not just bang around. Just be vocal about it.
That is really awesome. Like a piece of advice which a girl in the present era in a corporate world can use, because most of the women, they are not vocal about it. They hesitate. They don't raise their hand for new opportunities because of the societal pressure, and that is why women are not thriving as much as they should in the corporate world.
Right.
Like there are tremendous amount of talented women out there, but the statistical data shows that what the society is actually doing to the women, and we must realize that right now, being an aware youth.
Yes, and moreover, let me say that out very loud, that we women are more engrossed in our personal stuff that we forget what's happening at our professional. We are just delivering what we have. We are just doing our job, but be aware what the company is throwing at you. Be aware, and just take care of yourself and your family. Do not overlook any other responsibility. If you do have a work responsibility, give it a best shot. And if you at some point of time you realize that you're not getting a good pay, do not accept this fact that you're going to get less paid because you're a woman. Do not accept it, because you are just giving I would say equal amount of effort like the other gender, or maybe more than that, not less than that. So also be vocal about your pay as well. If you want hike, if you want promotions, say this out loud, that I want it for my personal growth, for my family growth, and I am doing these things that makes me eligible for that. Be bold.
Yeah. So what kind of classes or programs do you think that they best prepared you for MBA? Like after BBA, how did you prepare for getting into MBA?
Yeah, so the type of classes and programs, I would say developing interpersonal skills, working on your soft skills and communication skills would help you to step up a little bit. There are group discussions that are happening around, and there are debates that you have to participate in. But as soon as you enter your MBA, management itself offers you a lot. These group activities offers you a lot. So for just preparation, work on yourself, increase your self-worth. So whatever, I would not just quote specifically any other skills, but like the very common skills which are required: interpersonal, soft skills, communication skills. But if you want to explore some other skills as well, give it a shot. Who is stopping you?
Obviously, nobody is.
Yeah.
So the Banasthali itself offers a lot of courses. What advice would you give an applicant who is considering to take on multiple majors in order to prepare for the MBA program? Like, for example, students who want to prepare for MBA while doing engineering, so what kind of extracurricular they can participate in?
So any sort of management activities happening around. So if you have a fest, if you have heard of those fests, every department in Banasthali have their own festivals. So you get to learn a lot of things there, because you learn actual management, money management, people management, and how to organize stuff, how to handle the crowd. These things you learn when you participate in these kind of festivals and fests. So go out there, participate, work under someone or lead someone. Just manage it, because that's when you do it actually on the ground. You get to learn actual management. So these festivals are one of these things. And then if there are any societies that are there, also be part of those societies, or any groups who are doing any sort of activity, maybe elongated activities, or maybe just an activity for a day. Just participate in those, because group activities would take you to the next level, because when you are with multiple people around, first you get to learn a lot of things. Other thing, you learn coordination between each other. So
management of the crowd, basically. The more you interact, the more you know about the people and the management. Yeah.
Exactly.
So, what are the opportunities available after the MBA program? Like, what enhancement does it, like in career options, what enhancement does it allow us, like after engineering?
You mean while you step into MBA?
Like after MBA, what are the specific companies and roles, and what is the advantage of doing MBA after engineering, I may ask?
Yeah. So like I stated, if you're an engineer, you have to be a manager at some point of time if you are in corporate world. So every organization that you choose, you're going up to that role. Coming to what opportunities are available, opportunities are in abundance. You just have to explore. So like I'm in Deloitte, I'm a Workday consultant, I'm in HRIT. My friends, some are working in big insurance firms, they are recruiters there. Some friends who are working in financial firms are tax consultants, some are they have joined other firms as well, like consultancies, and there are banks. So it's, everywhere, every organization you choose does require, does have a place where you require an MBA postgraduate. So do not worry, you can just identify industries where you want to give a shot. Like I want to go to a finance industry, or I want to go to an HR industry, or I want to go to journalism, whatever it is. Everywhere, just identify industries, identify firms that are like, there are top 10 firms performing in the financial industry. What are these firms? And then move on to the next level. What are the designations available? What are the sections and divisions into that firm? How can and connect people? Just get connected with people on LinkedIn who are working there, and you aspire to be in that firm. Understand the culture of the firm. Understand what you can offer to them and what the corporate can offer to you. So it's just what you choose, because every other firm would need you if you are MBA graduate.
Yeah, and plus the skills that we develop during MBA, management and all, some point of time, even in life we need that management.
Yes.
It's not that if we don't do MBA, we won't interact with people, we won't manage people at some point of time. Yeah.
Yes, for managing household chores, you won't need, you are good that you are in MBA, because you know how to prioritize.
Yeah, definitely. So can you please share your internship experience with us? Like, can you please tell us what is a management internship, and what do we do as an intern over there?
So I got placed in ICICI Prudential Life Insurance company. My location was Jaipur. It was a 6 month long internship. I was placed as an HR intern. So initially when I went there, the manager to whom I was reporting, her name was Shivani. So she told me that you have to come on Saturday, Sundays as well. So Saturday used to be a half day there. So you have to be full day present on Saturday and Sunday. This is not our usual culture, but we have a recruitment drive on Saturday, Sunday, because we have printed an advertisement in newspapers for our vacancies. Okay, I said, okay, I was very new. Okay, I joined on Friday, next day was Saturday. So when I went there, next day, I see a lot of people, a queue outside office, and people standing with resumes, with files, those bulky files, and standing there. When I stepped inside, I was like, what is this? And they just told me that since we have a drive, take resume from them, come to us, ask them the details. There are certain details that we used to ask them the details, come to us, give us a resume, we'll take interview, and then we will ask you to direct the candidate to the other manager, or multiple rounds of interview. And when they are done, you have to take the formalities as well, make them understand their salary structure, make them understand the documents that we require, make them understand the culture of ICICI Prudential, tell them what would be their training. Also, then if they're coming to a consultancy, there is a group we are going to add you into and update the candidate status. If they have been selected or rejected on the group as well. So this was a lot for a new fresh intern. So, but with God's grace, there was another person who was still managing this, who was experienced in this. She was there to help me. So I was doing stuff. I was making mistakes. I have written, I forgot to ask from them. Sometimes I was hesitating to ask from them the right information, because I felt like I was a kid, and these people are experienced coming up here. Who am I to ask them? What are you doing? These sort of details. So it was like that initially, but for those 2-day drive, and then I learned a lot during that drive, because it's like working great under the pressure. So I knew what is the worst case scenario. And then when the workload starts decreasing, then I started adjusting there. So my internship experience was very, very rich, I would say, because the team was great. So there was a regional HR manager to whom I was reporting. There was an area HR manager to whom the regional HR manager was reporting, and I was in direct contact with. There was a whole North region admin manager in the team, and the other person that I quoted that she was there. She was just a coordinator, HR coordinator basically. So they were a great team when I joined them. So they have developed me. They have scaled me up bit by bit. So initially, like I told you, what I used to do then, my job has become also taking interviews. So they bestowed trust on me that now sit there, take interviews. And I was initially laughing. I said, no, please don't send a candidate because I feel like I'm not eligible to take an interview. How can I have not completed my MBA. How can I take interview? So they said, no, don't laugh, be serious and then take interviews. So I took some of those and then I started taking interviews on phone calls as well. So this regional HR manager to whom I was reporting, she had a transfer. She moved to Delhi. I was in Jaipur, and then I was directly reporting to the area HR manager. Then my work responsibilities increased due to the absence of the regional HR manager. So I, as an intern, basically become the person who was managing the region, this Rajasthan region, and directly reporting to the area HR manager. So consultancy used to call me, Mahima ma'am, there's a candidate coming in. Can you update the status? Can you take the interview? Can you schedule an interview? Also, then I started taking onboarding trainings. For those people. I started helping them out, how to fill out the basic responsibilities and how to submit their documents. And then I started taking exit interviews as well. I started managing the SS as well. Like if there is somebody who is leaving the firm, then taking ID cards. There were tablets that we used to allot to the new hires, taking tablets for them, giving them to the right vendors from whom we have contact with. And then if there are any new hires joining, applying, working with the admin team to get their ID cards ready, to get their tablets ready and dispatching them. So it was very rich experience, amazing. People who has joined new used to think that I am a regional HR manager. So these 6 months have given me a lot. I still have an envelope. So I made a manager join at a Bhilwara location. Now I still remember those names. I'm not from Rajasthan, but since I managed multiple locations, I remember these names. So there was a manager who joined at Bhilwara location, and he had to send me some documents that were missing during his journey. So when I received an envelope, so the guard bhaiya came to us, said that, ma'am, this is for you. And on that written to Mahima ma'am, and in brackets, HR ma'am Jaipur. And I was so happy. That they're recognizing me as a HR manager. So I still have that envelope with me. I told my area HR manager I want to keep it because this is my success. This is why my reward. This is the first time I'm getting recognized, not just for the work I'm doing, for the, good words that you're saying, but actually what's happening behind the scenes. So I still had that envelope with me, which whenever I feel a little demotivated or something like that, I should take that out. Mahima, you are not less than anybody. You do a great job. So just go on. So it was a rich experience. Also, as an intern, I was not like that whatever you'll give me, I'm going to do that. I was like, give me more. I want to explore dimensions. So this admin, there was a North region admin head who used to sit there, and we used to have lunch together. Okay, we always had lunch together, whole team. So this person, there was a campaign, which is road safety campaign going on. So the admin team was handling that, and they want some help. Like they have not directly asked for it, but there were multiple files that was kept on his table. And I said, what are these files for? He said, these files have documents for people who died on the job. Like if you're an insurance agent, you're traveling and you had a road accident and you died on the job. So these documents have cases for those people who have unfortunately died while performing their job. And now we have to run a campaign, road safety campaign, to ensure that whoever joins our firm is protected and is following the basic road safety rules. So I said, okay. So he said, we need some content writer as well to write something about it, so that, the whole case should be shrinked in few words, so that if somebody reads it, and if this goes out, at least people can read the story and they can relate to it and understand what is the importance of this road safety.
Yeah.
So I said, I can help you there. So he said that, do you have time? Can you help? I said, yes. When I'll go back to my home, to PG basically, then I have time. I can think on this and I want to contribute. He said, okay, fine. So he gave me the first draft. I edited it. Then he said, no, it's not working. Give me another. So I said, give me 2 days. I'm going to do it from scratch. He said, okay. And when I did it, I just forwarded him on WhatsApp or email. I don't remember. But then when I came to office the next day, he was sitting with his phone on. People were around him. And when I went there, they were looking at me. So I was like, okay, I must have did a mistake again, something like that. And maybe I have not written it up to the mark. So when I went there, they said, come here. They called me there and they said, you have written this? Yes, I have written this. And they said, it's amazing. We are going to release those. Do not share with anyone at this point of time because these are confidential. We are going to make it very official. And thank you so much. So I was like, okay, good job. So you yourself have to be vigilant enough and proactive enough to identify opportunities and take up those opportunities and then give it a shot.
Initiatives, right? You must take
Yeah.
initiatives.
Yeah.
That's an awesome experience. Like I cannot even imagine like the tremendous amount of work plus development in that period of like 6 months, and like
Yeah.
such a special experience being recognized as an HR manager when you're an intern. Actually, like
Yeah, that's
great.
true.
I mean,
Thank
there
you.
must be something special about you then, and managing as a student that to such a large area. That means there's something special. I mean, I'm glad that you got that opportunity.
Yeah, thank
So
you.
yeah. So the what are the biggest challenges one can face being a part of an MBA program?
Uh, okay, so the biggest challenge for me was stepping out of my comfort zone itself. So I think there is academically nothing is challenging. All subjects, they are teachers, they are teaching neuro subjects. Academically, there is nothing that is challenging. But what is more challenging is stepping out of those theoretical concepts and actually implementing them practically in real life. So that is the biggest challenge. Do not just forget what you have learned, but implement those. I mean, this is what we call that learn it by heart. So do not restrict yourself just to studies, explore other things, implement the concept you are learning to the other spheres also. So do not worry about grades as well. You are anyways going to score good or going to at least pass the MBA exam. So don't worry about those. But worry about what you're missing out on, like the other opportunities, like the extracurricular activities, which you're not going to get outside of the MBA program. So yeah, just this is the biggest challenge that you have to take yourself out of those comfort zones and then explore other opportunities and implement actually.
Taking the first step. That means like just take the first step and
Yeah,
everything will go on as it is.
yeah, exactly.
Definitely. That is the biggest piece of advice one can use right now. Like take the first step towards coding, and then yeah, you will be able to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, the things that we learn during our this educational journey, I mean, contribute less outside when you're in corporate world. You might be aware of the concept, but when you step into corporate, they're going to train you anyways for the work that they want to delegate to you or you are going to do. So you are going to get training for that. But what you, like you said, taking the first step, if you are doing coding right here, it's not the same that you're going to get outside, but you know the basics. Now, when you step outside and you are in a corporate world and they will ask you to code something, then you know the basic. Then you know from where to start, how to look into it, and how to
Yeah,
extract the final conclusion.
definitely.
Yes.
So, Dee, what did you find most enjoyable, like throughout the MBA?
So the most enjoyable is having a family away from a family. So when you're on campus, and you might be missing out on that, don't feel bad about it. But where I was living in hostel, away from my family, and I had a family there. I am still in touch with my friends. We still meet when we are in Delhi, or if I travel to Hyderabad or Bangalore for office purposes. So we still meet. We make plans. We meet. So I think eating together, going to mess together, going to colleges together, participating in group activities. I mean, these are the most enjoyable part.
Definitely, like hostel life is the best life one can ever imagine. Like we are still imagining, but okay.
Maybe you still have that scope for post graduation. Don't worry.
Yeah, that is one thing that makes me optimistic.
Yeah.
So the like throughout this journey, like the tremendous amount of pressure during the internship, as we like heard.
Mm.
So how did
Mm.
you manage to stay so optimistic, like and so calm? Like definitely on the first day of your internship, you were like there was so much work, like so much of fuss,
Yeah.
chaos, and then when you make mistakes with such tremendous amount of pressure, you get all messy, and then like that's all about management. I get it, but then how did you manage to stay so optimistic, calm, and devoted throughout
Mm.
that phase?
Yeah. So I think I've inherited it. I would say that I've inherited this from my parents, especially my father, to stay calm in these turbulent situations. But also this also came in when I was in MBA as well. I have seen people around me who are so impulsive, who
Yeah,
want to grab everything, who want to participate in everything, who want to be just like, I want to take certification, this certification, that certification, and they are overburdening themselves. So I thought that, and I have learned it from other people as well, not to be that much impulsive. I mean, just hold on, take a breath, forgive yourself for things that you have done, and I mean, just prioritize what you want to do, focus on what you want to do, maybe one thing, two things. Don't just, work under peer pressure or pressure that's happening outside there, or don't just feel that you will be, left out in the race. Don't feel that. If invest in yourself, if you will develop that self worth, it's going to work out any which way, not in the short term, but in the long term. So just focus on yourself. You don't have to be impulsive. You don't have to be aggressive about it. If you're focusing on yourself day by day, bit by bit, eventually you are growing. You are not, you're not in the rat race. Don't worry. Just stay optimistic, stay calm. So yeah, because you can't do much about it. Situations are there. You might rush, you might, scream, but it's going to do no good to you. So just be with yourself. Let me say that. So be with yourself, identify, introspect what you actually want, work on that, and that's it. There's nothing else that you have to do specifically apart from making yourself happy.
Plus, there's plenty of time. Like, you can learn throughout your life. Why to limit yourself? Like, for 2 years, like after 2 years, MBA will be over and I won't be able to learn. Why you won't be able to learn? You can. The whole life.
Yeah, exactly, you can. I used to think that I am going to do yoga, I'm going to do meditation during my MBA, but I did not have time, or let me say that I did not made time for that. I was invested in other activities. But then when I stepped into corporate, whenever I feel like, I say that to my managers, to my lead, that I want to take these 3 hours off. I want to go into a meditation session. I want to do these things. So when I do those, I feel like why I was rushing that. I was feeling bad during my MBA days that I'm not able to do that. Now, if I want to do that, I'm going to make time for that. It's okay. At some point of time, whatever you want to do, you are going to make time for that. Don't worry.
Yeah, like in different phases of time, you can prioritize different things, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So now let's come to the final question. Like, what would you like to advise your juniors, the present day generation of students?
Yeah, I would like to advise, since you guys you're not on the campus, you are studying virtually, and this is all the virtual environment. Don't just focus on what opportunities you are missing. Just focus on what opportunities you have. Like, you have time, you have family, you have resources available. If you, like, in our time, if I want laptop, I used to tell my dad that I want laptop, and after like 6 months, if I'm visiting home, I'm going to get the laptop after 6 months. But now resources are so readily available. If you want laptop, you tell your dad, I want laptop. He said, I'll get you this laptop in a week, and you'll get it in a week. So it's okay. I mean, it is virtual environment, but you have other opportunities as well to explore. Calm yourself, invest on yourself, increase your self-worth, and that's it. You don't need anything else.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Like, one should invest in one's own self first.
Yeah, and make friends. Network with people.
Yeah.
And
that family
explore whatever you want.
away from home. Definitely.
Family away from family.
Yeah. Definitely. Like, it's one of the most important perks of like hostel life, I may say.
Yeah.
It's very important, actually. It calms you down, like being away from family and having somebody to share time with and share talks with or share problems with. It's
because
really very important.
every relation in your life holds a different place. There are things that you share with your mom that might not share with your friend. There are things that you share with your friend and not with your mom, dad, or your siblings. So hostel life helps a lot there. So whenever you have friends, you can just directly walk into their room, sit there, ask them what you're doing, keep it aside, listen to my crap. So I mean, it will become a sort of family, a different kind of family, where the comfort zone might be different than the usual comfort zone. And it actually also helps you, because there are times, tough times as well. Like during my MBA days, my roommate got sick. We got her admitted to hospital in Banasthali itself, and then we came to know that she has been diagnosed with chikungunya. So there are times, like, we were friends, we were standing by her, so she was not worried about it. Moreover, there were times whenever I need my friends, they were there for me. Every time, if I used to feel demotivated, they used to come to me, don't feel like that. I'll talk to this somebody. If you're worried about an internship, don't worry. If you want to make your resume, I'm here. We can together sit and make resume. So it's, like I said, family away from family.
Yeah, definitely. Like, so we should try networking with our classmates and peers, even if we are sitting home. And yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So there's that then. And we thank you for being with us today. And it was a really very informative session I may add. Like, us, we can use the pieces of advice that you gave in our real life as well as in the career life. So definitely we'll try to inculcate what you said today. And it was a really important session. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Nice meeting you. More power to you girls, more power to your team, and just spread your wings, fly high. And yeah, thank you for inviting me. It's my pleasure to be here. Thank you.